Every year in the NFL, for every team, and this includes the Texans, there's a player or a coach or someone within the organization that's in their prove it year. They have to prove that they belong. They have to prove that they're doing a good job or that they're doing what they're supposed to do or, something around those lines. And today, we're going to talk about the 5 Texans with the most to prove this season. And like always, we're going to start off with some honorable mentions. We got Will Fuller. See, Will Fuller, he could be a top 15, top 10 receiver. His talent is undeniable. When he's on the field, he is amazing. And the funny thing is, I didn't like Will Fuller when we drafted him. But, the guy proved me wrong. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. However, though, Will Fuller does have something to prove. He has to prove that he can stay healthy. It sucks, man, because Will Fuller is a tremendous talent. I think the only other guy who can do what Will Fuller can do is probably Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill does do it better, but, maybe Deshaun Jackson in his prime, but I don't see another receiver, a deep threat speed guy, that can catch the ball well like Will Fuller, even though Will Fuller, coming out of college, he had hand issues, who has good route running abilities like Will Fuller, who can eat up cushions as easy as Fuller. Fuller just cannot really be stopped. The only thing that can stop Will Fuller is injuries. So hopefully Will Fuller's good to go. I'm not even asking Will Fuller to play a full 16 games and the playoffs. I'm asking Will Fuller to play at least give me 12 games and the playoff games. That's all I'm asking for. You could miss 4 games. I don't care, but just play for most of the season. Play in those games that matter, please. Imagine if Will Fuller had been there late in the season when we needed an extra offensive push. Fuller would have gave us that. He would have opened up the offense even more. And I've had some people tell me if Will Fuller can't stay healthy this year, we should just let him walk. And I think that's absurd. I think regardless, you got to keep Will Fuller, man. You have to keep Will Fuller. I'm not saying break the bank for him, because if Will Fuller does get hurt again this year, his price is going to drop dramatically. But I still think regardless, you got to keep Will Fuller, because even if he plays 8 games, your offense is going to be explosive those 8 games. Fuller just adds a whole different element to your offense, which no one currently in the NFL besides Tyreek Hill can do. Now, the next guy, my next honorable mention, I guess, is Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller has been average. You could blame the O-line, but, Lamar Miller hasn't really done himself any favors either. The guy falls down most of the time, that is. As soon as he gets touched, sometimes he misses wide open running lanes. And I just think Lamar Miller isn't really worth the price. I think it's $6.5 million a year. That's top end running back money. Well, besides the Todd Gurley's and Le'Veon Bell's, but that's considered top end running back money. Mark Ingram got $5 million a year, and in my opinion, Mark Ingram's better than Lamar. So yeah. Now the next guy on my honorable mentions is Tytus Howard, and the reason he's not on the list is because he's a rookie. But everyone knows Tytus Howard is considered a reach. That's no secret. So now he has to go out there this season and prove that he was worth a first-round pick. Because in my opinion, first-round picks should be day 1 starters, year 1 impact players. So Tytus Howard has to prove that he was worth a first-round pick. At least show something, Okay, now let's get on to the actual top 5 people on the Texans with the most to prove this year. And then number 5, I got Aaron Colvin. Aaron Colvin, similar to Lamar Miller. Last year, he got top end, top of the line, nickel corner money. He got $8 million a year per average, and that's, top of the line when it comes to nickel corners. Last year, Aaron Colvin did a good job, but he was hurt, and he was nursing his injury for a majority of the season. And kind of similar to Will Fuller, Colvin has an injury history. In Jacksonville, I believe his first 2 years, he had an injury-plagued career. Second 2 years, 2017 and 2016, he was relatively healthy. And now he comes to Houston, and then he gets hurt again. So he's got to stay healthy, and when he's out there, he has to prove that he's that shut-down nickel corner that we signed him to be. Now, Aaron Colvin's entering his second year of his 4-year deal, and after this year, he's really not owed any money at all. So after this year, the Texans can cut him. So technically, it was a 2-year deal with, a chance for him to stay along longer if the Texans wanted him or if he performed well. So it's kind of a prove-it year for Aaron Colvin. Can he come in? Can he stay healthy? Can he be shut down at the nickel position? We'll see. Now, number 4, I got Bradley Roby. Roby was a former first-round pick by the Denver Broncos. And if we're being honest, Roby has not lived up to the hype of where he was selected. First-round pick, you're expected to be a dominant player for years, cornerstone player for a franchise. But Roby wasn't that for the Broncos. Roby in Denver, actually, he was a third corner. Now, don't get it wrong. When people say third corner, some people think nickel/slot corner. That was not Roby. In Denver, during Roby's early years, they had Talib and Chris Harris, and of course, Roby himself. In regular base defense situations, the outside corners would be Chris Harris and Aqib Talib. In nickel situations where you bring in an extra corner, Chris Harris would go inside and cover the slot, and then Roby would come outside and be the number 2 corner. So that's how it worked in Denver for a while. Of course, then Aqib Talib left to LA, and that's where the big struggles happened with Roby. He had to be a full-time starter. So this season, he has to prove that he can be a full-time starter. I mean, he's getting $10 million this season by the Texans. So $10 million, that's, in my opinion, is not top-of-the-line corner money, because top-of-the-line corner money is $14, $15 million these days. But $10 million a year, that's like a solid corner. Roby has to be at least solid. And if he wants to be, a first-round caliber corner, then maybe he could get a $13, $14, $15 million contract a year. Now, number 3 on my list, that might surprise some people, I got Nick Martin, center. Now, Nick Martin, he is arguably our best offensive lineman. And I say arguably because Zach Fulton, I think, in my opinion, is our best offensive lineman. But some people could argue Nick Martin. Now, Nick Martin, whenever he was drafted, he was supposed to be a 10 to 12-year starter. And not just, what he is now. Because right now, in my opinion, Nick Martin is average. He is pretty damn good as a pass blocker. I mean, he allowed 4 sacks last year, and that's really, really good. But in the run game, he really provides nothing. I mean, he's still better than Greg Manx. I know there's some people out there that, for whatever reason, believe Greg Manx is better than Nick Martin. Stop it. He's not. Greg Manx provides no push in the run game, and he gets bullied by stronger guys in the passing game. Just stop it. Now, Nick Martin, again, he was supposed to be a Pro Bowl player, an all-pro caliber center, a guy you can literally build your offensive line around. Think about guys like Travis Frederick, Alex Mack, players like that. That's who Nick Martin was supposed to be. But instead, we got an average guy. And Nick Martin, there's still time, don't get me wrong. He had those injuries early in his career. That devastating ankle injury his rookie year. Messed up his ankle again his second year, but that was late in the season. So there's still time for him to kind of get it together and be really, really good how he was supposed to be. There's still time. I mean, he's entering his fourth year to contract year. During contract years, usually players step up their game a lot more, so maybe Nick Martin can be one of those guys that step up their play. Now, at number 2, it's not a player, it's a coach. I got Mike Devlin. Okay, look. I hate Mike Devlin. I think Mike Devlin should have been fired 2 years ago. But I'm also fair. I'm a fair person. I'm unbiased. I don't try to push any narratives or anything. So, you know what, if you want to make the argument, because I've seen some people make the argument, Mike Devlin's never had any talent. But, I mean, he had Su'a-Filo and Nick Martin, 2 second-round picks. And, you know, Martin, like I said, average. Su'a-Filo is trash. But, again, Su'a-Filo has been on 3 teams in, 2 years? So, Su'a-Filo, maybe he was just supposed to be trash. Who knows? But now, Mike Devlin ain't got no excuses. They got him Titus Howard in the first round. They got him Max Sharping in the second. 2 players hand-picked by Mike Devlin himself, because the Texans said that these 2 players, Max Sharping, Titus Howard, they worked out with Mike Devlin. Mike Devlin personally worked them out. Mike Devlin was doing a lot of work on prospects this offseason with the rookies. Now, let's see. All right, fine. There, you got your talent. You got your first and second round tackles. You still got Martinez Rankin there, a third round pick from last year. You got Nick Martin, who was a second round pick, who was pegged as an all-pro caliber player. There ain't no more excuses for Mike Devlin. Mike Devlin's got to show out, man. He's got to do something. His offensive line has to improve, because if it doesn't, then he's getting fired. And not only is he getting fired, he's getting someone else fired. Which brings me to my number 1 person on the list, which is Bill O'Brien. Now look, like I said, I'm a fair person. I looked at last year's Texans team, and a lot of people were complaining about what the Texans did last year. And I look at it, I'm like, how can you complain? They had no O-line. Tight ends couldn't be used because they had to stay back and help with the O-line. And then your receivers were all hurt. So I really have no issue with what the Texans did last year. This year, though, O'Brien, he went and got Titus Howard. He went and got Max Sharping. He got an offensive coordinator, which is what everyone wanted. He went and got Carl Smith, a proven quarterback coach. Now there's no excuses. He decided to keep Mike Devlin, then fine. You want to keep Mike Devlin? Then that's on you. There ain't no more excuses for you, Bill O'Brien. The first 3 years, fine. You know, I get it. You didn't have a quarterback. You just had scrub quarterbacks, filler quarterbacks, stopgap quarterbacks. Fine. I get it. Your 4th year, fine. Everyone and their mom got hurt. Fine. Last year, okay, you had a terrible O-line and your receivers got hurt. This year, no excuse. No excuse. 0. Nothing. If everyone gets hurt again, like it happened in 2017, you're still getting fired. Because if everyone gets hurt again, then that tells me that it's a Bill O'Brien problem. Our players can't stay healthy because Bill O'Brien. Because keep this in mind. We've had 3 strength and conditioning coaches. One of them left, on his own terms, but regardless, we've had 3. So if everyone gets hurt again, and it's obviously not the strength and conditioning coaches, then obviously it's something the Texans do in practice, a routine, or something that keeps all of our players injured. And in my opinion, that's a fireable offense. So Bill O'Brien ain't got no excuses. This year, he has to take a step forward. And I don't mean, let's go to the divisional round and not get blown out. No. We better go to the AFC Championship game. That's where I'm putting it at. Bill O'Brien has to prove that he can be the coach for the Houston Texans. He has to prove that he can take the Texans to new heights, take them to places they've never been before. That's where we're at right now. This year 6. It's year 6. That's it. No more, excuses. No more, we'll get them next year. No. It's now. Now, Bill O'Brien has to do something now. That's all I gotta say on that. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys for today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.